everyone, it's me again. As you can see, I'm not in my room actually at the moment. I'm just kind of in my common kitchen area I share with one of my roommates. I do still live in the dormitory at Lackland right now, where I am stationed currently. I just want to wish everyone a happy new year of 2018 as well. That's super exciting for the new year. I'm probably, like most other people, are going to be writing 2017 on everything, even though I definitely thought this whole entire last week was 2016 going on 2017, so I was just confusing myself even more, of course. Um, I I've been wanting, as you guys can see when I make a video, I usually have a notebook in front of me, but this time I don't. I've been wanting to make this video for a very long time now, and I just didn't ever know how to make this video, and I think it's finally time to make this video. Um, some of you have reached out to me on social media, on my Snapchat or my Instagram, which I thank you guys for, because I have been asked a few really cool, awesome questions and just basically reached out through you guys and stuff. And so sometimes, if you guys do follow me on Snapchat and stuff, I do post sometimes how I post pictures of my feet that I can't physically touch the floor because I'm only 5 foot something. I'm 5 foot nothing. But I just usually post pictures of my feet saying, oh, I'm at the hospital again. I do go to the hospital a lot for a lot of stuff. For physical therapy is one for my knees and my back and stuff like that. But that's actually not what this video is for. This video is on for the other reason why I go to the hospital. Basically, this is my mental health story. I I never really had a problem being depressed or being sad when I was a child. And I want to just disclaim right now, if this just gets really sad and if I just start crying or something, I don't know. I'm a woman and I get very emotional. Um, I never really had a problem as a child, you know. Just growing up, I'm adopted. I have a happy family who did adopt me. I have loving parents. I have a brother and sister. My family is a little bit broken right now, which, I mean, what kind of family isn't anymore now these days in this century? When I went through basic, as you could see in some of my older videos, I did not graduate basic on time. I did go to Get Fit flight for about a week and a half, which wasn't even that bad. That means just I graduated a week later than my original flight 298. And we graduated in April of 2016 from basic. You know, I got, when I was going through Get Fit and I was in MedHold, the Get Fit girls who wear the green armbands on our left side, if you ever come down to Lackland, or if you guys ever decide to come to basic, or you guys ever get stationed in Lackland or anything like with me, you'll see like a lot of MedHold people wear blue, separations wear oranges, and then Get Fit people basically who need to pass their PT test will wear the green. And I was one of those people. I had to wear the green because I didn't pass my PT test I didn't pass my PT test 3 times during my 6 weeks, so that's why I was sent to Get Fit, of course. And you guys can watch all the other videos. They're somewhere below. I can link them below eventually. I record these on my phone. As you guys know, I'm not a professional doing any of these video stuff. I just do them because I love helping people, and, you know, that's just who I am, guys. And you also know I get very sidetracked as well. So going back to the story, this story will probably take a long time. I did that. I was a little bit sad going through MedHold just because it was sad. I met so many girls who was separating that were just like, oh, I can't wait to go home. I can't wait to do this. I can't wait to eat this. Like, I just can't wait to do whatever I want to do. And the rest of us were just like, we have literally 5% of BMT to pass. And, you know, we're just struggling to pass it. It's a struggle. I passed it. I went to tech school in Keesler, which most of you know. I am a 3 Foxtrot 0X1. I am a Personalis, which I will make another video on how Personalis AFSCs have changed recently due to some stuff going on of changing like how we are structurally as Personalis. I was kind of sad during tech school. I remember them telling us like, oh, mental health office is over there. If you guys ever need to go over there, you can always talk to them. My aunt passed away when I was in tech school. I didn't go home on emergency leave because that's not what emergency leave is for. Emergency leave for is only your immediate family, really. And so I didn't use my emergency leave when she did pass away. I did go talk to a chaplain a little bit about it. And so, you know, then I went to Korea in August of 2016 after I was done with tech school and everything. It was completely different. It was such a culture shock. It was so insane. And now I can't even imagine my life without having part of Korea, basically part of my life. September 6th is my birthday. As some of you may know, I did make another video on the day of my birthday. I turned 20 when I was over in Korea. A few days afterwards, I finally decided to go to mental health because you always hear the rumors about mental health, like, oh, don't go to mental health, it'll ruin your career, it'll do this, it'll do that, and that kind of stuff. I went to mental health a few days after my birthday. I met with a captain who was my therapist the entire time I was over there. And she was just so amazing. She was a social worker, I believe, but she was so amazing. I loved her. She's my favorite therapist I've had so far. Basically, she's just helped me through so much. As you guys also know, I did have a boyfriend when I was going through Korea as well. We are broken up now. We broke up June of this year, 2017. And, you know, he just meant so much to me. He was there when I first cut myself. He was there when I was hospitalized. I ended up getting hospitalized after they found out that I self-harmed myself once with a eyebrow razor, which is very popular in Korea. I showed the bandages to my leadership. They kind of knew a little bit about me being upset and not happy and stuff. They knew a little bit about it, but I don't think anyone knew the true extent about it. So after I showed them and they kind of talked a little bit more, the first shirt came and got me, and she's like, hey, you need to pack your bags right now. We're going to grab you an escort. Like, you're leaving for the hospital, like, tonight. Me and my first shirt I packed like a 72-hour bag. We drove 3 hours, went straight to the hospital at Yongsan base, which is an army base near Seoul in South Korea. So I went up there, stayed there for about 3 days. A lot of therapy session happened, a lot of vitals, making sure, like, are you okay? Will you do this? Will you do that? And that kind of stuff. My refrigerator just turned on, and as I can hear, that was back in November of 2016 when I got hospitalized for a few days. I came back to work and everything. I convinced myself I was going to force myself to be better and everything. I've had many struggles with depression and anxiety. When I was in Korea, they diagnosed me. I don't know if they officially diagnosed me, but I think they did. But they said, like, you have adjustment disorder with anxiety and depressed mood. My captain, who was my therapist, and I talked about how I have attachment issues and that kind of stuff. When I was back in Korea, around this time actually of 2016 to going on 2017, around this time I was starting to get better. I was stable. I didn't really need therapy anymore. I stopped taking my pills because I was just tired of taking so many pills a day. It just wasn't for me. And I was getting better. I was happy with where I was. I was happy with my life. And that's just how it was. I got better. I did go back a few times, just the most random cases, but every single time I went back, my therapist, she told me every time, she's like, you know what, Ruby, I don't think you need to be here anymore. She's like, I think you're okay. Like, I've terminated your profile like already 2 times now. She's like, I don't think you need to be back here. I think you're safe. I think you're okay now. I think you basically are done here. Like, you're healed and everything. And I was like, that's awesome. I was like, that's great. I'm glad I'm healed. As you guys know, I did leave Korea in August of 2017. About a month before I left before Lackland, which is my phone, which is where I'm stationed at now, I did go through another month of depression, and that was really hard. I think it's just because it kind of hit me that I was leaving everyone. Me and my ex-boyfriend from Korea, we had already broken up around that time too, and I was highly upset about that. I cried for like 4 days straight, of course, and I just tried to beg for him back. But that's a different story for a different day always. I did go through another month of depression. I was very upset, but I just happen to have the most amazing leadership, the most amazing friends, and people around me to help me out with how I was feeling so I would never feel lonely and stuff. I came to Lackland. I am not currently doing personnel work. I'm currently doing security support work, as I've already mentioned in one of my other videos as well of what my new job is currently right now. You guys can go check that out as well. I came to Lackland August 2017. I didn't think I was going to miss Korea that much. You never think you're going to miss Korea that much. And I never realized I was going to miss Korea that much. I missed all my friends. I missed the people I was with. I missed my leadership over there. I literally missed everyone. I missed Korea in general. It was my first base, and it was the only base I ever knew basically my entire Air Force career. And so much has happened there. I've made so many memories there with so many different people. And I think that's what definitely hurt the most after PCSing to Lackland. When I first got to Lackland, I went through severe depression once again. When I first got here, I do live in the dormitories right now, where permanent party airmen stay. So usually it's A1Cs and below, or anyone anywhere between E1 to E3 lives in the dorms. It was definitely, I mean, I was used to the dorms, but it was definitely different here. It's not how you could just go out and just like hang out with someone and like you could just instantly like be like, yeah, sure, it's like let's be friends, and like how it is in Korea. It's not like that here. Korea was my family. It was everything I've ever known. They were my family. I mean, my work is my family, but here I've learned everyone's got their own family. Everyone's got their own thing to do. I never grew up with these people here. I grew up in Korea with my own people. And so it was so different here. So I went through severe depression. The first few weeks I got here, I think probably lasted about a month to now. And it was just awful. Like I said, for my hospitalization back in November 2016, I was hospitalized for suicidal intentions. I did think about jumping from a seventh floor day room that was in the building I lived in back in Korea. I did think about hanging myself in my closet. I thought about hanging myself here. And, it's just kind of led on to this. This is probably one of the saddest videos I think I'd ever make. And you know how I am, guys. Some of you who do talk to me, everyone's like, she's very happy, she's very cheery. I talk to my best friend about a lot of this stuff. And I'm the strong one out of everyone. My best friend tells me, because she deals with the same stuff I kind of do with, she tells me, I'm trying to think of how she said it. She's like, I don't look like the kind of person that would go through this kind of stuff. I never looked like that kind of person. I was always so happy. I was very go-lucky. I was very carefree. I was very, let's just do it and hope for the best, cross our fingers and hope for the best, guys. It's just been a very hard ride. I've gone back to mental health. I've gone back to therapy. If any of you do follow me on Snapchat, you have seen my most recent story of me talking about how I have been fighting a case of getting me out of the military dormitories. It causes me a lot of stress, unfortunately. It causes me a lot of stress. Just this past Friday on the 29th, I think it was the 29th of December of 2017, I was informed by my supervisor, unfortunately, that I was declined to not leave the dormitory and live off base, but instead that they should just move me to another dormitory. I don't know why. I'm not going to say who gave the final thing because I will have to talk to them eventually about it. But that person knew everything about the situation going on, about like my mental health and stuff. And it just really upset me to hear what they had to say and why they said what they did, because obviously I could tell that they must have talked to someone and that must have influenced their decision to write the chief to say to just moving to a different dormitory because of completely different reasons that I want to get out of the dorms. It still hurts. It still hurts. It didn't really hit me that I got the no to move out of the dormitory on Friday. It's because I was at work, and I love work. I love my job. I love what I do. I love working with my trainees. I love preparing them for their Air Force career. I love helping them in any way I can. I love giving them advice from a personnel standpoint, to help them get the base they've always wanted, to tell them anything about that base that I've known, because I've known so many people who have gone to so many different bases. I want to tell them everything that I know and to help them in any kind of way, because that's just who I am. And a lot of you know that too sometimes. But it didn't really hit me until, I guess today's Monday because it is New Year's Day. It didn't really hit me until this past Saturday on the 30th that I was declined. And then I made that story on Snapchat that some of you might have seen. And it hurt a lot. It hurt a lot. And I didn't know how to feel for a while. So I ended up just going for a drive like how I usually do. I usually try to go for drives. I try to listen to music, try to get my mind off of stuff. And driving also makes me kind of sleepy, so then when I come home I can just go right to bed and I don't have to worry about anything until the next day, so I can keep putting stuff off. And like I said, it didn't really hit me until Saturday. I went for my drive like normal, like I tell people I do. I ended up crying about 3 times on Saturday, and it was just really sad. This video is going to be really long though, I can already tell. I can already see the time. We're already at 18 minutes, guys. But it's better for this to be a long video just because of everything to tell you. Do I wish sometimes that I would not wake up in the morning? That I would just go away forever? Yes, I still do wish that sometimes. And it's unfortunate that people hurt this much to think like this. And it's really unfortunate. I don't like being in suicide awareness classes because it's the same thing over and over again. Until you deal with it yourself or you've had someone close with you that deals with something like this, I don't know if a lot of people would ever understand of what people go through every day. I'm not saying I've had the worst life, but I've not had a fun life either. I've had a lot of heartbreaks. I've had a lot of stuff that I wish that didn't happen. My other point besides sharing my story is I want to talk about the mental health side of being in the military. A lot of people have said mental health ruins your career. Don't go to them. You'll get discharged right away. That's not true. Yes, I've known many of my good friends, and by many I mean only 2 because I don't have that many friends, guys. I've known two of my closest friends who were medically discharged because of mental health reasons. But it's not because mental health forced them. Mental health can never force you to do anything. They can encourage you to do stuff just like how the chaplain can, but they can never force you to do anything. Underneath HIPAA, your medical records cannot be disclosed to anyone unless for some odd reason they like absolutely need to be disclosed. But HIPAA protects us. They protect you. They protect me. They protect anyone, any civilian, any military person. They protect all of us. That's what HIPAA does. It protects us from our medical records being disclosed to people that do not need to know it. I've enjoyed mental health. It when I was in Korea, it was my captain. It felt like I had a third side. I had another pair of eyes to the story who knew the story but wasn't in the story. And that's what I liked, because they could give a non-biased opinion even though I pour out all my emotions sometimes. I don't want anyone to think that going to mental health is scary, because it's not. If you really need a cry out for help like I did, and I still do, I still need to cry out for help, and I'm still trying to teach myself how to give my hand out and to trust others and to trust strangers and to trust the people I care about the most to help me deal with this problem so I'm not alone anymore. I think that's one of the strongest things that people can do. If any of you make it to the end of this video, I just want to thank you for listening to my story. And I want to thank you for everything that everyone does, whether that you're a civilian or that you're thinking about enlisting into any military branch or commissioning into any military branch. I thank everyone for everything. I thank you for all my subscribers. I thank for all the people that have reached out to me and either comment on my videos, asked me questions about stuff about personnel, just so I can help you guys. It's been a very fun ride along the way, and I would like to continue my life and continue the journey that I'm on. I just thank you. I don't really know what to say. This video is just super long now, but I just want to thank you. Just read the description down below. Follow me on Instagram or Snapchat like how I always say. I'll leave my name down below. Subscribe if you'd like to. Comment on this video if you'd like to. Watch my old videos if you'd like to. Whatever you guys want to do. Thank you for everything.